truck was actually coming from Ring Road. It missed a step. So as it was trying to gather itself, it fell.
What we are witnessing these days, it is something we can no longer understand.
They should stop telling us and promising us all those promises are fake, giving us this set of promises are fake. We don't want it anymore.
A pleasant evening to you and many thanks for joining us on Beetv Major News at 6, coming to you live from Benin City, the Edo State capital. I am Evelyn Izibili, and now to the news in details. Governor Monday Okpebholo of Edo State on Wednesday brokered peace between host communities and investors on the use of government forest reserve land for agricultural purposes and investors. The communities involved were Iguomo, Egbeta, and Usen in 2 local government areas, Ovia Southwest and Ovia Northeast local government areas. Beetv News Best Orator has details.
Governor Monday Okpebholo, who was represented by his deputy, Honorable Dennis Idahosa, appealed to the various stakeholders at the meeting which took place in Benin City to always toe the line of peace at all times. The governor said by virtue of the Land Use Act, the land in dispute belongs to Edo State government. The governor blamed activities of the previous administration of the state for the hostility between the investors and the host communities. He accused the previous administration of arbitrarily allocating the said forest reserve to investors to site companies without due consultation with the host communities. Just as he stated that the meeting with stakeholders became expedient in order to straighten out facts we strategize. Okpebholo maintained that the part of resolution involved the raising of the memorandum of understanding by investors with their host communities to keep all parties involved in decision making.
Of land will be given to the communities to farm. The one of 5,600, 560 hectares will be given to the community. The same thing goes to the one that have 500 hectares. So I think for me, this is what I'm fighting for, not for my own selfish interest, but for the interest of the people and for the interest of the government. Because once investors are happy, the community people are happy, then the state government will be fine. To the investors, the first time I was willing to support, in line with the vision of the governor of Edo State, to support and give protection to all investors. But there were some concerns, and we needed to go through this process. Now that we are here, I believe the next step is to discuss the buffer. That is why I asked the lady, do you have the authority to take decision? Because if we give these people 5% in line with the initial agreement, my fear is it might not be enough for them to farm. So I am suggesting, we have met before, but I have not discussed this because my responsibility, apart from being the deputy governor, I have represented these 2 local government before in House of Representatives. And it is, you might not understand, it's a personal, because if the people if they don't have the opportunity to farm or farmland to farm, it's going to result to a serious issue in that area. So that is why I wanted us to have this conversation so that in that 5% initial agreement has to do with the buffer. If we have the room, the authority to increase it, I'm proposing 50%.
The secretary to the Edo State government, Umar Musa Ikilu, Esquire, stated that before the said land allocation to investors, the previous administration ought to have carried out diligent studies and the needs assessments in relation to the communities. He said basic steps ought to have been followed, such as meetings with Community Development Association with agreements reached on community development. Historically, Ikilos said the Usain community started as a farmstead, hence the need to carry such a community along in decision-making on issues that affect their means of livelihood. He further encouraged investors to engage in corporate social responsibility, as well as put in place activities that promote job creation and general welfare of their host.
Where one brother was in Benin, the other one was Usain. So history itself shows that these people, everything about them was family. So for a community like that, you needed to have really carried that community along before taking a decision that can now displace a community that doesn't have any other thing. The origin itself of the community was family. So, but that did not take place, and that is why what we are now looking at is to say, how do we review whatever agreement was reached by the past government? Since revocation is not available to us, let us see how we can now negotiate a better ticket for the communities to protect their agrarian culture, their agrarian business, while also encouraging investors to come in and do things that will still bring benefit to the community. Very important. We have seen some of these investors in other local governments, and I want those who are in Ovia Southwest and Ovia Northeast to take example from those investors in other parts. I don't want to mention any particular investors, but there are investors in this business in Ikobaoka, and they are doing several things. There are those in other Orio, Ikobaoka, and
the Elawure of Usain, Oba Wilson Olubetu, praised the Edo State government for its intervention. He appealed for communities to be carried along when critical decisions are being made, especially on issues that affect their livelihood. Also, the investors all commended the Edo State government for the peaceful resolution of the matter. Communities involved were Igiomo, Ebeta, and Usain.
The Edo State Civil Service Commission on Thursday conducted a computer-based test, CBT, for shortlisted candidates seeking employment as agricultural and environmental officers in a recruitment exercise described as a clear demonstration of Governor Monday Okpebholo's commitment to practical governance. The report.
Chairman of the Civil Service Commission, Mr. Sam Oko-Ose, who addressed journalists at the CBT Center in Benin City, the state capital, said the exercise was part of the governor's earlier promise to open up employment opportunities for qualified Edo citizens, noting that the process was driven strictly by merit. According to him, over 3,000 applicants initially applied for the positions, but only 400 plus candidates were shortlisted after a rigorous screening process. Oko-Ose noted that the commission is guided by an established scheme of service, stressing that the CBT is only one stage of the process.
Generally, majority of the ones here, they met the requirement the provisions of the schemes of service. We have a scheme of service guiding the selection of candidates for employment. We don't do it arbitrarily. We want to recruit many agric officers, and many will be deployed to the local government areas to serve, to pursue the government agricultural programs. There are government funds, not in Benin, as in the different local government areas. They'll be deployed there to work. So that will boost full production in Edo State. We have over 3,000 persons who applied for these positions. However, those after the shortlisting, we have just some 400 plus. 400 plus. And the reason why the number is that low is because most of those who applied are not eligible. They didn't meet the requirement.
Reassuring candidates of a free process, the chairman emphasized the integrity of the commission members. He assured every candidate that the commission is made up of people of integrity and they cannot afford to disappoint the governor who gave them the opportunity, adding that their duty is to join hands with Governor Okpebholo to move Edo State forward. He noted that only qualified...
We have our reputation to protect. But more importantly, we know that Mr. Governor, Distinguished Senator Monday Okpebholo, is a man of integrity. We cannot afford to disappoint him. We gave him a word at our inauguration that the confidence he has placed in us, we will not betray it. And also, we are all indigenous of Edo State. How can we fail our people? We can't afford to fail our people. The people of Edo State have confidence in us. Our own is to join hands with Mr. Governor to move Edo State forward. You know, the civil service is very, very important. Some call it the engine room of government. It's only fit and proper persons who will be selected. Merit, no compromise. It's not negotiable. We stick strictly to the principle of merit. 2
candidates who participated in the CBT also commended the process. Omorege Rosemary, an applicant for environmental officer, and Aitwayuwa Hawkins, who applied for agricultural officer, praised the transparency of the exercise and expressed optimism about contributing meaningfully to Edo State civil service if eventually employed.
It was okay, and I had, at least it was a perfect exam.
What did you apply for?
Agricultural officer, yes, and it was a nice one. It was a cool exam anyway.
Your expectation?
I hope for the best anyway, so we are hoping for the best, and I believe the best will come.
Your message to the government?
I think the government should keep this up. It's a nice innovation. This one is very, very nice, and I'm happy to have this.
What do you have to say about the transparency in terms of your application that brought you to this business?
It was a smooth one. It was a smooth one, stress-free, and I even used my phone to apply it. And it was easy, and everything was nice.
On that, I'll say a big thank you to the governor. I think this is the first time I just applied online, and I'm even coming to write exam without following, get to know somebody and all that. I just applied, and I was surprised that I was sent a message and my name was there. So it's a kudos to him.
The CBT exercise is widely seen as a follow-up to Governor Okpebholo's pledge made months ago to strengthen the state civil service through fresh recruitment, underscoring that the administration's promises are translating into concrete action. Best Orator reporting for Beetv News.
The Edo State Migration Agency, EDMA, led by its Director General, Chief Lucky Agazuma, in collaboration with the International Organization for Migration, IOM Office of the Coordinator of the First Lady of Edo State and other non-governmental organizations, has led return migrants on a road walk to commemorate the 2025 International Migrants Day. Beetv News favorably reports that the events brought together jubilant return migrants, officials and stakeholders of the Edo State Migration Agency, representatives of the International Organization for Migration, and other collaborating NGOs. The exercise was aimed at sensitizing members of the public on the dangers of irregular migration.
In International Migrants Day, celebrated annually on December 18, is set aside to recognize and celebrate migrants globally. This year's celebration in Edo State featured a roadwalk and cultural performances by returned migrants, all geared towards raising awareness on the risks associated with illegal migration. Speaking to the migrants, the coordinating officer of the First Lady of Edo State, Mrs. Edesili Okpewolo Anani, commended the returned migrants for turning out in mass to celebrate what she described as a very important day. She emphasized that every returned migrant is valued by the state and assured them of the government's unwavering support while highlighting the significance of the celebration. The high point of the event was the unveiling of the Edma signpost by the coordinator of First Lady of Edo State, Mrs. Edesili Okpewolo Anani.
His Excellency's greeting to everybody here. And as you know, His Excellency is very concerned about you people. And the government of the day is particular about what happens to our returnees. And I'm also excited that you have a capable DG that has been doing a lot. The idea is that when people travel abroad, which is very legal, but we're preaching travel abroad the legal way. When you want to travel abroad, make sure that you're doing it right. And then, if for any reason that you have to come back, it is the duty of the agency to make sure that you are rehabilitated and reintegrated into the society so that you have gainful employment, skill acquisition, just to make sure that when you come back, we're able to find a place for you back into the society. The good thing is that you're a citizen of our state. And when it comes to His Excellency, anybody that resides in this state is his responsibility.
Addressing members of the public, the Director General of the Edo State Migration Agency, Chief Lucky Agazoma, described the day as one worthy of celebration. He urged Nigerians to desist from irregular migration, warning that illegal migration often comes with severe consequences and does not always end positively.
Waiting make us come home for us today, we say, we go let una know waiting they happen, so that make una not go make mistake. Now December we dey so way. All our brothers and sisters, when we say that they are abroad, different country, they go enter town. The money where they gather in 1 year, they want to spend that for 2 weeks. Just to play and say, now so abroad sweet, when you pass Libya. Libya not there like before, people they die for Libya. Because today, what we get, they call them World Migrant Day. We want to use the point to tell you, say, how long we go Libya? No game for there on a very big problem. Because people they die there. We don't say who want travel, make we not travel. To travel is very simple. Now for una to use through the safe pathway. If una don't know how to travel, make una come our office. They know they buy visa, then they process visa.
The Director General thereafter led the returned migrants and members of the organizing bodies to the Nigerian Union of Journalists (NUJ) Secretariat, where the NUJ chairman, Mr. Festus Alaike, addressed the migrants. He appreciated the Governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpewolo, and the Director General of EDMA, Chief Lucky Agazuma, for the efforts being made to curb illegal migration, adding that the NUJ fully supports the campaign.
It's also an opportunity for you to educate parents on the need for them to put their eyes on their children. One thing that is very worrisome right now is underage girls that are sent on this kind of journey. We have had cases where 13 years, 14, even 15 years old girls are made to go through the river on the meaning of going to Europe, and they will never get to Europe. Many occasions, get stranded in some of the African countries, and where they are made to go through some odd jobs and sex exploitation. This is very worrisome. So I congratulate you and I thank you for this rally.
The roadwalk continued through other parts of the city, where representatives of various NGOs took turns to sensitize residents on the dangers of irregular migration, urging intending migrants to follow legal and safe migration pathways.
No, down.
In an interview, the Director General noted that International Migrant Day is of great importance and was deliberately chosen to celebrate with returned migrants. Members of the Returned Migrant Association also spoke to newsmen on the significance of the day.
It's an opportunity to reach out to the people, the dangers of irregular migration, and promoting safe migration against the irregular migration.
The migrant set as a day to remind all the return migrants. Migrant Day, 18th of December. Every 18th of December is Migrant Day. We celebrate it. It's a day that we used to organize ourselves, call ourselves together to do road work, advocacy, for people not to embark on the same journey so that we can reduce the migrants, we can reduce the illegal migrants.
I want to say thank you to Edo State government. Also thank you to the DG, Edo State Migration Agency, the person of Honorable Chief Lucky Agazuma, for making today a remarkable day for us. May God continue to bless him as he stands up for all returned migrants and all survivors.
The event ended on a high note with cheers and jubilation as the Director General addressed the returned migrants, appreciating the Governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo, stakeholders of EDMA, partner NGOs, and the returned migrants for making the event a success. He reaffirmed the government's commitment to ensuring that returned migrants are supported and empowered to become stable and productive members of the society. Favour Kolawole reporting for Beetv News.
The Edo State government has evacuated roadside trailers along Adolo Road off Ugbawa Lagos Road, Benin City, in a bid to restore orderliness to the area and ensure smooth movement for both pedestrian and vehicles. Beetv News' Precious Agbolaho, who visited the area on Friday, reports that the once congested road, which previously hindered the movement of motorists and pedestrians, has now become free-flowing. The government's recent evacuation exercise.
Adolo Road junction off Ugbawa Lagos Road is now wearing a new look following the recent evacuation of roadside traders along the road by the Edo State government. The exercise has significantly improved traffic flow and public safety. Some residents in the area commended the government's actions, stating that it was long overdue. They noted that the road has become unsafe, especially during busy hours, where both vehicles and pedestrians struggle to navigate the area. They said the evacuation of the traders has restored order and brought a cleaner and safer environment.
Thank God, the road is very free. No hold up now, not hold up, both market now, all of us will not pass. I don't push us go there now, more on
the trailer will break now, it will kill many people. At least now, who carry car, if you drive well, let me say, come out, market come out. So we thank God, we thank those state government, everybody is on that. So now do.
Some traders who previously operate along the road commended the government's action, but appeal for designated space or alternative market for displaced traders, emphasizing that while order is important, livelihood must also be protected.
I know say wetin they do dey right, but at least they'll provide where we go. Before they for sure us, this one now for sure us days now we never say. Like me now bread that they say. Normally bread now just show them for the same bread. Okay, if they say they will move us to market as they talk, let them show us market one, but they look say they for sure us, and this period now December period, Christmas and next week, the same will not say. What they do now very good thing here, that they save our life, but inside them I go see the safe person.
Actually, they good as they clear and not say no, but the only area we need to caution ourselves so that sometimes obviously we will just on Japan ourselves. This place is small. They will see where we will park, you will see. So now waiting me the government, may they do something. And they are trying to do good because to control human beings.
not take easy.
It is therefore hopeful that the traders will continue to maintain order by avoiding roadside trading and adhering to designated market space, ensuring the area remains safe, clear and accessible for all. Precious Agbolaho reporting for BTV News.
Residents of Ugorodo community in Warri Southwest local government area have blocked the entrance to Chevron Nigeria Limited Escravos terminal, protesting what they describe as long-standing neglect and marginalization. The protesters accused the oil company of failing to provide employment opportunities for the host community and for not implementing key provisions of the Petroleum Industry Act. The report.
The usually busy entrance to the Chevron terminal was brought to a standstill as angry youth and elders of Ogborobo community barricaded the facility. They claim the oil firm has sidelined them for decades despite hosting one of the country's major oil installations.
Ever since Chevron took over from Gulf, the operation is very rough for the community. We don't benefit anything. During the time of Gulf, we benefit light, we benefit water, employment.
You see this yard here? There are thousands of people working in this place, making millions, either in job or in contract or empowerment. But there is a complete neglect of the host community. PIA is an extant law of this nation that has been passed by the National Assembly, assented to by the President. But Chevron has refused to implement that of Ikpere.
Determined to press home their demands, the protesters have pitched tents at the terminal entrance and promised to sustain the protest until their voices are heard. They insist that only the intervention of Chevron's top management alongside the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, will convince them to vacate the area.
Anybody that wants to come and talk to us will not be these persons that are here. A top management personnel that have capacity to resolve the issue that is here. And they don't want their top management to know the politics they are playing with the community here.
We are not even going to worry to discuss with them. They will come to Ogborodo to discuss with us. We don't want to go to Warri. We don't want to go to Lagos. We want to discuss here in Ogborodo so that they will feel our pulse when they come here.
Chevron Nigeria Limited did not issue an official statement on the protest. However, the company's communication manager, Victor Akuwidike, said such protests are common around this period. He added that issues related to Petroleum Industry Act are being addressed and noted that the Ogborobo community had previously excluded itself from the Awari Trust Fund. Favor Kolawole reported.
The federal government of Nigeria has commended the resilience and patriotism of Nigerians in the United States for their commitment to the growth and development of the country. Speaking at a joint virtual meeting organized by the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, and the Nigeria Center Washington, the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, alongside the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Miatta-Matuga, encouraged the diaspora community to consistently draw attention to national issues, particularly recent developments in the country. During the session, Minister Tuga clarified that claims of genocide were misleading, emphasizing that the challenges stem from regional conflicts rather than targeted violence. Honorable Abike, Chairman and CEO of NIDCOM and facilitator of the virtual conference, noted that such cooperation is essential as conversations foster deeper understanding. Follow-up discussions included reviewing participants' inputs and recommendations, which Mrs. Dabiri Erewa confirmed will be compiled and communicated to the President through the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Officials described the engagement as a key step in strengthening dialogue between the Nigerian government and its diaspora, ensuring their insights contribute to national development initiatives. The federal government has reopened 47 Unity College that were closed earlier this month due to security concerns. The Ministry of Education confirmed that following the strengthening of security architecture within and around the affected schools, academic activities have fully resumed. Students have safely returned to their campuses and many are concluding their December academic programs. The ministry assured that the government remains fully committed to safeguarding students and ensuring the continuity of education across the country. In a statement, it noted, the federal government remains resolute in its responsibility to protect every Nigerian child and to uphold their fundamental right to education in a safe and secure environment. Officials emphasized that enhanced security measures will continue to ensure students' safety while maintaining uninterrupted learning across all affected institutions. The Nigerian Police Force National Cybercrime Center has uncovered a major international cyber fraud operation targeting Microsoft 365 users across several countries. The investigation, carried out in collaboration with United States law enforcement agencies, has led to the arrest of suspects and the recovery of digital evidence linked to large-scale online fraud. The report.
According to the police, the syndicates deployed a phishing toolkit known as Raccoon 0365 to create fake Microsoft login portals. These portals were used to steal user credentials, allowing criminals to gain unauthorized access to corporate, financial, and educational email accounts, exposing victims to severe financial and data losses.
Blockchain analysis further traced cryptocurrency wallets used in the operation to some wallets with the linked KYC information, identifying Okitipi Samuel as the sole beneficiary. Evidence shows that the phishing links he generated facilitated multiple unauthorized intrusions into Microsoft 365 accounts across several jurisdictions, resulting in business email compromise, financial losses, and the exposure of sensitive information.
The police said the attack, which occurred between January and September 2025, resulted in business email compromise, internal phishing, data breaches, and financial losses across multiple countries. This prompted a joint operation involving the Nigerian Police Force, Microsoft, the FBI, and the United States Secret Service.
We have our laws here. We have the Cybercrimes Act here. And if you commit an offense here, yes, we can prosecute you and you can be convicted here. Yes, I know there are special cases where, based on international cooperation, the country might request. Yes, if that request comes, why not? We would follow due process. If it qualifies for repatriation, we would.
Operational teams were subsequently deployed to Lagos and Edo states, leading to the arrest of 3 suspects between September and October. The police said a prima facie case has been established against the principal suspect, who will be charged under the Cybercrime Act 2024 as investigations continue. Favor Kolawole reporting for Beetv News.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Torin Abiondu Lagbaja, has directed that all ongoing residential housing projects be completed and allocated to deserving personnel to address accommodation challenges within the Nigerian Army. He made the announcement at the closing ceremony of the Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference 2025 in Lagos. The report.
The 4-day conference involved intense deliberation behind closed doors, where senior officers shared ideas expected to shape Nigerians' response to emerging security challenges. Although journalists were not granted access to the strategic session, the COAS described the event as a period of self-appraisal, planning and consolidation ahead of the coming year.
The intelligence brief, as well as the update we received on Nigerian Army operations during this conference, affirm that our operating environment is increasingly becoming more complex. This evolving threat spectrum necessitates that we enhance our capabilities in intelligence, surveillance, target acquisition and reconnaissance, as well as in cyber operations.
Discussions focused on repositioning Nigerian Army School to strengthen training capacity and enhance operational effectiveness. The Army Chief emphasized that achieving optimal performance from officers and men requires addressing key welfare concerns, particularly accommodation.
More emphasis will also be placed on training and employment of our special forces and Army aviation, among others. We shall be making radical and informed changes to our training and operational activities in the coming year with deliberate intervention in the training needs of the Special Forces School, I have directed that all ongoing residential accommodation projects in the Nigerian Army be completed in good time and allocated to personnel, while new ones are to be initiated across all barracks in the division. As a stopgap measure, Nigerian Army will be investing in more comprehensive spread of renovation works in all our barracks.
The conference concluded with the COAS honoring senior officers for dedicated service and distributing checks to widows of fallen heroes, reinforcing the Army's commitment to personal welfare. Favor Kolawole reporting for Beetv News.
President Bola Tinubu has earmarked 5.41 trillion naira for security, the single largest allocation in the proposed 2026 budget. It marked the third consecutive year that defense and security spending has taken priority since the administration began presenting national budget in November 2023. Tinubu disclosed this on Friday while presenting the 58.18 trillion naira 2026 appropriation bill to a joint session of the National Assembly, where he said national security remained the foundation of economic growth, investment, and social stability. Under the proposal, defense and security will receive 5.41 trillion naira ahead of infrastructure, education, and health, reaffirming a pattern established in the 2024 and 2025 budget, where security consistently attracted the highest sectoral funding amid persistent threats from terrorism, banditry, and kidnapping. Hours earlier, the Federal Executive Council had approved the 2026 budget framework at an emergency meeting presided over for the first time by Vice President Kashim Shettima. The council pegged total expenditure at 58.47 trillion naira, with heavy spending pressures from debt service, wages, and security obligations. Breaking down the 2026 proposal, Tinubu said that security votes would be deployed to modernize the armed forces, strengthen intelligence-driven policing, enhance border surveillance, and support joint operations among security agencies. Troops of Operation Hadien Kai in the northeast have recorded a decisive victory against insurgents in an early morning infiltration attempt from the Mandera Mountains into Borno State. Several terrorists, including a high-value commander and his cameraman, were killed as coordinated ground and airstrike dismantled the group's operational capability. In the early hours of December 18, advanced surveillance system detected the movement of insurgents. Ground forces allowed the attackers to advance into a calculated engagement zone before launching precise fire. Surviving elements attempting to retreat were targeted by airstrikes cutting off escape routes. Follow-up operation revealed the scale of the blow inflicted on the insurgents, with troops recovering AK-47 rifles, PKT machine guns, loaded magazines, handheld radios, mobile phones, a camcorder, motorcycles, and bicycles used for logistics. Blood trails and shadow graves indicated additional casualties from both ground and air engagements. Military sources confirmed the operation significantly disrupted terrorist plan and degraded their fighting capacity. Troops reported high morale as they continued sustained offensive operations to deny insurgent freedom of movement and ensure the safety of communities across the theater. Benin City witnessed another rich display of Benin cultural heritage on Thursday as the families of Pastor Osaige Izeyamu and Professor Mrs. Idia Izeyamu and Honorable Matthew and Professor Mrs. Nosakai Idwoikeme formally performed the traditional marriage rites uniting their children, Osai Izeyamu and Hayford Osai Wanta Idwoikeme. Let's join Best Orator for details.
It was a day of joy and excitement at the family compound of Pastor Dr. Osaige and Professor Mrs. Idia Izeyamu, who gave her their adorable daughter Osayi Zena Izeyamu in marriage. The traditional marriage ceremony began with the formal arrival of the groom's parents, Honorable Matthew and Professor Nosahai Joyce Idwoikeme, and other family members, as they were warmly received by the Izeyamu family. Kola nuts and drinks were presented as a sign of hospitality, and the groom's family formally stated their purpose to seek a wife for their son, Hayford Osayemata Idwoikeme. After a brief consultations, the bride's family acknowledged the intentions, prayers were offered, and kola nuts and drinks were shared. The ceremony continued with the groom formally exchanging pleasantries with both families. Beautiful daughters of the Izeyamu's family were presented to the groom's family, who insisted that Miss Osayi Zena Izeyamu is the woman they want as bride and not any other person. At last, the bride Osayi appeared amidst joyful songs. She was officially identified by the groom's family and confirmed her acceptance. Traditional items were presented and the symbolic 24 naira bride price was paid, and thereafter the county rite was performed. The ceremony concluded with music, dance, and the sharing of appreciation gifts, kola nuts and palm wine, among others. This was followed by a glamorous reception party hosted in celebration of the newlyweds. The reception kicked off in an atmosphere of celebration and excitement as both families made a lively dance-in, filling the hall with joy and jubilation. This was followed by the energetic entrance of the groom alongside his groomsmen before the bride arrived gracefully with her bridal train to the delight of guests. Celebration then transitioned into opening prayers, where the couple was specially prayed for, committing their union into God's hands and wishing them love, peace, fruitfulness, and a happy home. The newlyweds later took to the dance floor together, drawing loud cheers as the venue erupted in music, dancing, and heartfelt appreciation. The Deputy Governor of Edo State, Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa, in his remarks congratulated the couple on their union, describing marriage as a sacred institution that thrives on commitment and faith. He prayed for faithfulness, good health, and enduring happiness for the newlyweds, while appreciating family members and guests for coming to celebrate the joyous occasion.
A good man, you came from a good home, and it's clear that you are going to show leadership in that home. And above all, God is going to lead you to make the right decisions for the family. For the wife, the bride, you are from a very lovely home. You are going to be the head to protect the family.
Earlier, Chairman of Education and the Managing Director of LAPO, Dr. Godwin Egiamuso, in his goodwill message, advised the couple to allow love to lead in their marriage. He encouraged them to build their home on patience, understanding, and mutual respect, while offering prayers for God's blessings, peace, and longevity in their union.
I want to quickly also express my optimism. I'm very optimistic that our effort and Osayi will make success of this. I'm very sure of that.
On this part, the Secretary to Edo State Government, Umar Musa Ihilo Esquire, also blessed the couple, wishing them a peaceful and prosperous home. He prayed for divine guidance over their marriage and extended goodwill wishes to everyone who gathered to share in the couple's joy, urging continued love and unity among families.
This is a wonderful thing for the family of Beetv and that of Beetv. We appreciate it, we appreciate the coming together, and we pray that the couple will keep this bond and continue to build this love and unity that is able to break all barriers, whether politics, religion, tribe, or whatever it is.
The groom's father, Honorable Matthew Idwoikeme, shared heartfelt words, offering prayers for success, fruitfulness, and lasting peace in the couple's marriage, just as he gave fatherly advice rooted in wisdom and experience.
I wish their marriage to be better than my own. I'm also very, very, very overwhelmed with joy. Seeing my son get married now, I'm seeing myself handing over to the next generation.
In an interview, the groom, who spoke on behalf of his wife, expressed gratitude and joy, describing the day as a dream fulfilled. He thanked both families and guests for their support and prayers and said the marriage marks the beginning of a life built on love, unity, and mutual respect and understanding.
I feel excited, I feel happy, I'm thankful, I'm grateful. All in all, it's just all good feelings, all good feelings. This is a very big thank you. Many have come from far and wide. They've spent a lot of money to be here, and we're really so grateful for everyone who took out their time to make sure they'll be here to celebrate us. And I pray that as you've been able to celebrate us, so also others will celebrate you.
Several top guests and political leaders, as well as business moguls that graced the occasion, shared goodwill messages, congratulating the couple and offering prayers for a peaceful, fruitful, and prosperous marriage. Engineer Lawrence Oka, the APC State Secretary, Deputy Speaker of Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable Samoyi Atu, and the Chairman of Edo State Internal Revenue Service, Barrister Otumba Oladele Bakole Balogun, all expressed joy over the union and wished the couple a lifetime filled with love, harmony, and divine blessings.
All I can say to them is to look after themselves and be friends of each other.
I wish them well. May God come to protect them and wish them well in their new endeavor.
They should always trust God in everything they do, and they should trust each other.
The celebration was marked by colorful traditional performances, cultural chants, and lively music that reflected the richness of Benin heritage. Guests were treated to an array of food and drinks as dancing and merriment filled the venue. The union of Osayi Izeyamu and Hayford Osayemata Idwoikeme was celebrated amid overwhelming love and goodwill from family, friends, and dignitaries, making the occasion a memorable and joyous event. A business mogul and philanthropist, Chief Limo Ikpia, also graced the colorful traditional marriage ceremony. The parents of the couple, Pastor Dr. Osayi Izeyamu, is a former secretary to Edo State Government, a politician, a pastor, a lawyer, and a farmer. His wife, Professor Idia Izeyamu, is the Chief Medical Director of the University of Benin Teaching Hospital, while the groom's father, Honorable Matthew Idwoikeme, is a former majority leader of Edo State House of Assembly and a businessman, while his wife, Professor Nosaka Joyce Idwoikeme, is a professor of pediatric nephrology of the University of Benin Teaching Hospital. Best Orator reporting for Beetv News.
The All Progressive Congress APC in Delta State has described the late former senator representing Delta North Senatorial District, Senator Peter Wamboshi, as a committed party man and a fearless voice for his people. The party said his death marked the loss of a politician who remained actively engaged in the political and democratic life of the country until his final days. Reacting to the development, the state chairman of the APC, Elder Omeni Soboti, in a statement issued by the State Publicity Secretary Valentine, said the passing of Senator Wamboshi was a painful loss to the party, the Anioma Nation, Delta State, and Nigeria at large. He noted that the late senator distinguished himself as at the National Assembly through purposeful legislative engagement and consistent advocacy, particularly in championing issues affecting oil-producing communities in Delta State and the overall development of the Niger Delta region. According to Sobote, Wambochi political life is defined by courage, conviction, and an unwavering readiness to stand firm on issues he believed in. The APC chairman added that the party recognized Wambochi as a political figure whose influence cuts across party lines and whose contribution to governance and democratic discourse will remain an enduring part of Delta State political history. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back shortly. Please stay with us.
Today, we're rolling our drums to celebrate a proud daughter of the mighty Afema land, a woman of purpose, a woman of valor, a woman of excellence with an unshakable faith, Umaru Patrick Dora Odufa, the CEO and founder of Dora's Touch Aesthetics Clinic and Spa, a top-tier medical aesthetics brand renowned for professionalism, innovation, and genuine care. Trained in the United Kingdom and certified at a master's level in aesthetics medicine by the Northern American Board of Aesthetics Medicine. She is dedicated to transforming lives, restoring confidence, and empowering people through beauty and wellness. Dora is a multi-business entrepreneur, visionary leader, and philanthropist. In 2023, she founded the Patrick Dora Help for the Helpless Foundation, an NGO focused on supporting vulnerable people, empowering women, uplifting families, and restoring hope across community. She's also actively involved in politics, driven by a strong commitment to service, leadership, development, and meaningful transformation. Her political journey is rooted in passion, integrity, and the desire to create opportunities and positive change for her people. A deeply spiritual woman, Dora is guided by her unwavering faith in God, her strong values, and her commitment to integrity. She is a woman who never compromises her values, a disciplined go-getter, and a symbol of resilience, grace, and purpose. Her life continues to speak loudly, a testimony of hard work, divine favor, and a destiny anchored in impact. Today, we raise our glasses to toast for a woman of inestimable value on the occasion of her birthday. Hip, 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 hooray! The message is endorsed by Idahosa Michael.
Welcome back from that short break. And now to the business segment. The federal government says 149 companies currently enjoying pioneer status incentives will retain their tax holiday for at least 2 more years, despite Nigeria's transition to a new tax regime scheduled to take effect from January 2026. The report.
The Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission said the firms are protected under transitional provisions of the new tax framework to preserve investors' confidence. Data showed that since 2017, the Pioneer Status Incentive has attracted about 8.7 trillion naira in capital investments and created 58,897 direct jobs, mainly in manufacturing and Lagos states. Of 693 applications received between 2017 and the second quarter of 2025, 304 were approved, 64 denied, and 1 certificate cancelled, leaving 149 current beneficiaries. The incentive, which grants up to 5 years of corporate tax relief, will be phased out gradually and replaced with a tax credit-based economic development incentive under the new tax law amid concerns over an estimated 8 trillion naira annual revenue loss from waivers. Nominees to head Nigeria's petroleum regulatory agencies have pledged sweeping reforms aimed at purging value leakage, restoring discipline, and attracting fresh investments under the Petroleum Industry Act. The nominee for the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Orishemiyiwa Eyesa, said weak digitization and poor data integration were costing the country significant value, promising real-time data systems, collaboration with stakeholders, and strict enforcement of their PIA. Her counterpart at the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Saidu Mohammed, stressed strict contract enforcement in the gas sector to address shortages, revive pipeline transportation, strengthen quality assurance, and prioritize domestic energy needs alongside exports. The Senate said the nominations come at a critical time for Nigeria's economic recovery, with confirmation expected in the coming days following further engagement. Livestock and agricultural stakeholders have urged the federal government to expand grazing reserves beyond the 3 pilot locations to at least 1 reserve in each of the 6 geopolitical zones. The course follows the launch of pilot grazing reserves at Wawa Zange in Gombe State, Wase in Plateau State, and Kawo in FCT. Stakeholders said properly developed reserves with water, veterinary services, access roads, schools, and healthcare would reduce transhumance, farmer-herder clashes, and insecurity. They warned that the current scale is too limited, giving Nigerians 417 designated grazing reserves, and called for regional balance, transparency, and stronger engagement with pastoralists, local governments, and traditional rulers to ensure sustainability and attract private sector investments. Zainab Mohammed reporting for BTV News.
Former United States President Barack Obama has once again highlighted the global rise of Afrobeats by including songs by Nigerian stars Olamide and Burna Boy in his list of favorite songs for 2025, reinforcing the genre's growing international appeal. Also, Waterloo Road actor William Rush dies aged 31. The report.
The woman argued that not every platform deserves the presence of an A-list artist, saying Davido sometimes tries too hard to be liked by everyone. While acknowledging his friendly and approachable nature, she said celebrities should set boundaries to protect their brand and stature. She also questioned Kataifi's relevance, criticizing his style of comedy as not representing the kind of culture she believes should be promoted. British actor William Rush, best known for his role as Josh Stevenson in the BBC One drama Waterloo Road, has died at the age of 31, his family has announced. Rush appeared in 168 episodes of Waterloo Road between 2009 and 2013 and also featured in Grange Hill, Shameless, Casualty, and Vera. His mother, former Coronation Street actress Debbie Rush, confirmed his death on Instagram, describing him as her beautiful baby boy. While the cause of death was not disclosed, she paid tribute to his decision to become an orphan donor, saying he gave hope and life to others even in his final moments. Tributes have poured in from colleagues across the entertainment industry as the family requested privacy during their grief. And that's it on the entertainment news. Evelyn Isabel reporting for BTV News.
Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta says the club is in a strong position to compete for major trophies as they celebrate 6 years in charge, with the Gunners leading the Premier League table ahead of the festive period. Arteta believes the steady transformation of Arsenal has laid the foundation of sustained success at the highest level. While the FA Cup remains the only major silverware of his tenure so far, he highlighted significant progress in squad quality, financial growth, and consistent performances. After finishing outside the top 4 of 6 consecutive seasons between 2017 and 2022, Arsenal have now placed second in each of the past 3 campaigns and return as regulars in the UEFA Champions League. The North London side sits 2 points clear of Manchester City and can secure top spot at Christmas with a win at Everton, Arteta's former club. Despite recent drop points in draws against Sunderland and Chelsea, and a red defeat at Aston Villa, the 43-year-old remains confident ahead of the demanding run of 6 matches between December 20 and January 8. He stressed that winning games is his only Christmas wish, saying positive results would naturally boost belief, energy and momentum as Arsenal chase their first league title since the historic 2003 and 2004 season. And that is the size of our news package for tonight. Many thanks for joining us on BTV Major News. I remain Evelyn Izivili. Thank you and have a good night.